What if you were locked behind iron gates, guarded by soldiers with no possible way out? What if the night before your trial, everything seemed already decided? And what if, in that exact moment, something unseen began to move? In the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 12, verses 1 to 19, we enter one of the most intense and dramatic moments in the early church. A moment filled with fear, power, prayer, and a miracle that no one saw coming. It begins with pressure. King Herod, seeking to gain favor with the people, begins to persecute members of the church. This isn't just political, it's personal, it's strategic, and it's dangerous. James, the brother of John, is put to death by the sword. Just like that. One of the key leaders, gone. And when Herod sees that this pleases the crowd, he goes further. He arrests Peter. Now pause and feel the weight of that moment. Peter is not just another follower. He is one of the central figures, a voice, a leader, a symbol of the movement. And now, he's in chains. Herod plans to bring him out for public trial after the Passover, which means one thing. Time is running out. This is not a temporary hold. This feels final. Peter is placed under heavy guard. 4 squads of soldiers, 16 in total, assigned to watch him. This is maximum security, no mistakes, no escapes, no chances. He is bound with 2 chains, sleeping between 2 soldiers, with more guards stationed at the entrance. Everything about this situation says the same thing. There is no way out. But while Peter is in prison, something else is happening. Outside those walls, the church is praying. Not casually, not occasionally, but earnestly, constantly, deeply. Prayer becomes their response to fear, their response to loss, their response to what they cannot control. They don't have power, they don't have influence, they don't have access to the prison. But they have something else. Connection, faith, persistence, and they use it. Now here's where everything shifts. The night before Herod is set to bring Peter to trial, something happens. Peter is asleep. That alone is surprising. Think about it. He knows what happened to James. He knows what could happen next. And yet, he's sleeping. Not restless, not panicked, but at peace, in chains, between guards, in a place where escape is impossible. And then suddenly, a light shines in the cell. An angel of the Lord appears. Not with noise, not with chaos, but with calm authority. The angel strikes Peter on the side and wakes him up. "Quick, get up," he says, and instantly, the chains fall off Peter's wrists. Just like that. No struggle, no effort, no resistance. The chains simply fall. The angel tells him to get dressed, to put on his sandals, to wrap his cloak around him and follow, and Peter obeys, step by step, still not fully understanding what's happening. The text tells us something fascinating. Peter thought he was seeing a vision. He didn't realize it was actually happening. Have you ever experienced something so unexpected that it didn't feel real? That's where Peter is. He's walking, but not fully processing. Moving, but still unsure. They pass the first guard. No reaction. They pass the second guard. Still nothing. And then they come to the iron gate leading to the city. This is the final barrier. The last obstacle. And what happens? It opens by itself. No force. No key. No sound. Just opens. And Peter walks out. Free. They go through the streets, and then suddenly the angel disappears. Just like that. And in that moment, reality hits. Peter realizes, this is real. "I know without a doubt that the Lord has sent his angel and rescued me," he says. Rescued him from Herod, rescued him from what was planned, rescued him from what seemed certain. So what does Peter do next? He goes to the house of Mary, the mother of John Mark, where many people are gathered, praying, still praying, even as the miracle has already begun to unfold. Peter knocks at the outer entrance. A servant named Rhoda comes to answer the door. She recognizes Peter's voice, and instead of opening the door, she runs back inside. Overjoyed. "Peter is at the door," she announces. But here's the unexpected part. They don't believe her. "You're out of your mind," they tell her. Think about that. They are praying for Peter. Praying for his release, praying for a miracle, and when the answer shows up at the door, they doubt it. Rhoda insists, she's sure, but they respond with logic. It must be his angel. Meanwhile, Peter keeps knocking, still outside, still waiting, until finally they open the door, and there he is, alive, free, standing right in front of them, and they are astonished, completely shocked, overwhelmed. Peter motions for them to be quiet, and he explains everything. How the Lord brought him out of prison, how the impossible became possible. And then he gives them a message. Tell James and the other brothers and sisters. and then he leaves, disappearing into the night, moving forward into whatever comes next. Meanwhile, back at the prison, morning arrives, and confusion spreads. The soldiers are disturbed. How did this happen? Where did Peter go? This wasn't supposed to be possible. Herod investigates, questions the guards, searches for answers, but there are none. And in the end, the guards are held responsible, because from a human perspective, there is no explanation, no logical way to understand what just happened. This story is powerful on so many levels, because it brings together fear and faith, control and surrender, impossibility and intervention. Let's start with Peter. His peace in prison is striking. He's not pacing, not panicking, not losing hope. He's sleeping. That kind of peace doesn't come from circumstances. It comes from trust, from something deeper than the situation around him. Even when everything suggests the worst, he rests. That alone is a message. Then there's the church. Their response is prayer. Not because it's easy, but because it's all they have. And sometimes that's enough. Actually, more than enough. Because while they are praying, things are moving. Behind the scenes, beyond what they can see, beyond what they can control. And then there's the miracle itself. Not dramatic in noise, but powerful in impact. Chains fall, doors open, barriers disappear, step by step, quietly, precisely. And Peter walks out. It reminds us that not all miracles look the same. Some are loud, some are quiet, some happen instantly, some unfold step by step, but they all carry the same message that what seems impossible is not always final. And then there's that moment at the door, where expectation and reality collide. They were praying, but not fully expecting this. And yet it happened anyway. That's something many people can relate to. Believing, but struggling. Hoping, but doubting. And still seeing something happen. This doesn't make their faith weak, it makes it real. Because faith is not always perfect, but it is still powerful. And finally, there's the outcome. Peter is free, not because of his strength, not because of a plan, but because something beyond human control intervened, and that changes everything. This story challenges how we see limits, how we define impossible, how we respond when everything feels closed. Because sometimes, even when the doors are locked, something is already opening. Even when the chains are tight, something is already loosening. Even when the situation feels final, something is already changing. The question is, do we keep trusting in the middle of it? Do we keep believing, even when we don't see the outcome yet? Do we stay steady, even when everything around us feels uncertain? Peter's story doesn't remove difficulty, it doesn't deny danger, but it shows that those things don't have the final word. Because beyond the prison, beyond the guards, beyond the plan of a king, there is something greater at work, and sometimes it shows up in the most unexpected moment, in the middle of the night, in the quiet, in a place where no one expects change, and suddenly, everything is different. Thank you for watching this video. If this story inspired you or gave you a new perspective, don't forget to like, follow the channel, and share this video so more people can discover these powerful moments of faith and transformation.